Dear children, let us learn another important and interesting chapter in your 8th standard biology syllabus. So that is microorganisms, friend and foe. You know what are microorganisms? See, microorganisms are the organisms like plants and animals, but they are not seen to the naked eye. They can be seen only through the microscope. So these microorganisms are of 5 different types. So bacteria, protozoa, viruses, algae and fungi. Microorganisms are of 5 different types. You can see here the various different types of microorganisms which are of different size, shape and structure. So first one is the bacteria. You can see the cocci, bacilli, spirali. Cocci means round shaped bacteria, bacilli are rod shaped bacteria, whereas the spirali are spiral shaped. You can see a rod shaped bacteria here. Coming to the second type, so that is the algal forms. You can see the chlamydomonas here and a Spirogyra. Coming to the third type of microorganisms, protozoans. You can see the structure of amoeba here, whereas here there is a paramecium. Coming to the fourth type of microorganism, you are seeing the bread mold, here penicillium and aspergillus. Coming to the fifth type of microbes, so that is viruses. You are seeing a tetrahedron shaped virus. Here there is a virus which is named like tobacco mosaic virus. Here is a virus which is called human immunodeficiency virus. You can get the idea of the size of microorganism by seeing this picture. If you take 1 millimeter in measuring scale and divide it into 1000 parts, so you will get 1 micron. So microorganisms measure about microns and even lesser than that. Let us study the chapter Microorganisms, Friend and Foe by following these slides. Here you are seeing the various types of microorganisms which are of different size, shape and color. The microorganisms or microbes are so small in size that they cannot be seen with the unaided eye. Some of these, such as the fungus that grows on bread, can be seen with a magnifying glass. Others cannot be seen without the help of the microscope. That is why these are called microorganisms or microbes. Microorganisms are classified into 4 major groups. These groups are bacteria, fungi, protozoa and some algae, whereas viruses come under separate category. Let us look at one activity. Collect some moist soil from the field in a beaker and add water to it. After soil particles have settled, observe a drop of water from the beaker under the microscope. What do you see? We can see variety of microorganisms which are in the soil. So we can see them with the help of microscope. So let us do another activity. Take a few drops of water from the pond, spread on a glass slide and observe through the microscope. So we will find tiny microorganisms moving around. Those small things you observe through the microscope are called microorganisms. Some of the pictorial examples are given in the next slide. You can see streptococcal bacteria, a spiral bacteria, rod-shaped bacteria. So these are some of the types of algae, namely Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra. Here some of the types of protozoans, namely amoeba and paramecium. Some of the types of fungal organisms, namely bread mold, penicillium, aspergillus. Here you can see the types of viruses. So where do microorganisms live? Microorganisms may be single-celled like bacteria. Some algae and protozoa are multicellular such as algae and fungi. They can survive under all types of environment ranging from ice-cold climate to hot springs and deserts to marshy lands. They are also found inside the bodies of animals including humans. Some microorganisms grow on other organisms while others exist freely. Microorganisms like amoeba can live alone, while fungi and bacteria may live in colonies. Friendly microorganisms are used for various purposes. They are used in the preparation of curd, bread and cake. They are also used in cleaning up of the environment. For example, the organic waste like vegetable peels, remains of animals, feces, etc. are broken down into harmless and usable substances by bacteria. We can recall that bacteria are also used in the preparation of medicines. In agriculture, they are used to increase soil fertility by fixing nitrogen. So how to prepare the curd? Curd contains several microorganisms. Of these, the bacterium Lactobacillus promotes the formation of curd. It multiplies in milk and converts it into curd. Bacteria are also involved in the making of cheese, pickles and many other food items. An important ingredient of rava idlis and baturas is curd. So how to prepare the bread? Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. Bubbles of the gas fill the dough and increase its volume. This is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. Let us see another activity where we should take half kg of flour of maida, add some sugar and mix with warm water. Add a small amount of yeast powder and knead to make a soft dough. What do you observe after 2 hours? Did you find the dough raising? Yes. Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. Bubbles of the gas fill the dough and increase its volume. This is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industry for making breads, pastries and cookies. So commercial use of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for the large-scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, otherwise called vinegar. Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice and crushed fruit juices, etc. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Let us see another activity where we should take 500 ml of water. We should take that in a beaker and fill it up to 3-4. Dissolve 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar in it. Add half a spoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. Keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Now smell the solution. Could you get a smell? Yes, it is the smell of alcohol. This is the smell of alcohol as sugar has been converted into alcohol by yeast. This process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Microorganisms which are acting like both friends and foe. See, what do you mean by foe? Foe means enemies. Microorganisms act like friends as well as enemies to us. So you know what are microorganisms? See, microorganisms like plants and animals, they are not visible to our naked eye. So they can be seen through only microscope. Suppose if you say to show these microorganisms and I don't have a microscope, means I can show you a decaying bread. So on that you will be seeing some thread-like structures which are having round ball-like structures at their tip. So what are these? These are microorganisms, namely fungi, called bread mold. So if you take those thread-like structures and observe under the microscope, so you will be observing a fungal organism, so having a minute structure, so the hyphal structures with the ball-like structures at their tip, having innumerable number of spores in it. So how many types of microorganisms are there? So you have 4 types of microorganisms: algae, fungi, protozoa and bacteria. You might be thinking of viruses. So these viruses make the 5th type of microorganism, but they are grouped under a separate category. See, let us see how these microorganisms are friends to us. So we can make a big list of the uses of microorganisms. So when I take up the uses, so I will give you instances which you can see at your home. You see your mother preparing the curd. Otherwise, she is preparing the idli or dosa. Then what is the thing going on here? So while she is making the curd, she will put a little amount of curd to the warm milk. So in that warm milk, that curd consists of a microorganism, so that is bacteria called lactobacilli. So within few hours, it gets multiplied and innumerable cell division makes the milk to turn into curd. You will also see your mother making the idli or dosa batter. So in that batter, after it is getting grinded, so the yeast present in the air get mixed with that, and few hours later you can see that batter becoming developed with full of gaseous things in that. So the microorganism, namely yeast, will grow inside that and make it little getting developed. So when you prepare dosa or idli by that batter, so they become very tasty as it consists of a very special flavor mixed with this gas, that is carbon dioxide. And you can see fine holes in the idlis and dosas. You can also observe some of the things in nature. See, in nature, you can see some dead parts of the plants and animals. After few days, you cannot see them. So they have become vanished, means they have got disintegrated into the soil to become fine manure. So what had happened to that waste present in the soil? See, some useful microorganisms present in the soil have converted those dead and decayed parts of the plants and animals into a fine manure. So these are called eco-friendly microorganisms which help to clean the environment. And you see variety of crops which give you carbohydrates and proteins. See, come to the proteins. When dicotyledonous plants, they will be eating the proteins like grams and pulses. So what is the main content of the grams and pulses there? So grams and pulses have proteins in that.
So which is the source of chemical to prepare the protein for the plant? So plant need excess amount of nitrogen to produce the proteins like pulses and grams. So where do they get this nitrogen? Naturally from the air. So air consists of almost 70% of nitrogen in it. So it will not come into the plant as easier as carbon dioxide comes through the stomatal pore. So nitrogen will not be going inside the plant like that of the carbon dioxide through the stomatal pore. So it enters into the plant by a special mechanism. The roots of the dicotyledonous plants will be having certain microorganisms like rhizobium. So they will entrap the atmospheric nitrogen present in the air. So that nitrogen will be consumed by the plant to produce the proteinaceous food, namely pulses and grams. So you come to the preparation of the cake and bread. So in the bakeries, the person will going to add yeast into the maida. So that maida, after getting mixed with the yeast, so it develops to become very spongy. So when you bake that maida which has become developed, you will taste the bread so tasty. You will feel the bread so tastier. Because of the presence of yeast in that, which has produced the gas like carbon dioxide and some of the flavor which makes it more tastier. So when you become ill, so the doctor will prescribe you some medicines. So these medicines, so when they are made for the first time, so those medicines were produced by these microorganisms. So suppose you get some fever, some medicines will be given you to some medicines are given to you when you become ill. So those are called antibiotics. See, these antibiotics are prepared with the help of microorganisms. Later we will learn how that antibiotic was produced for the first time. So antibiotics like penicillin, streptomycin, erythromycin, all these are produced by the fungal and bacterial species. See, coming to the process of fermentation. See, fermentation is the process of the conversion of the sugar into alcohol. The sugars will be present in some of the substances like wheat, barley, rice and some of the fruit juices. So when you add the yeast or some bacteria into it, so they develop that sugary item into alcohol. So this process is called fermentation. Then coming to another process, so that is vaccination. So how we can get rid of some of the dangerous diseases. So some of the dangerous diseases can be curbed by taking the vaccines. So before the onset of any disease, if we have taken the vaccine, that disease will not be coming. So these vaccines are prepared again with the help of the microorganisms. See, like that we have innumerable uses of microorganisms. See, microorganisms sometimes act like enemies also. See, these microorganisms causes so many diseases. So those diseases are specific to a specific type of microorganisms. Suppose if you have bacteria, we will be suffering from bacterial diseases. See, bacterial diseases, some of the examples are typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, etc. Coming to the protozoans, you have the protozoal diseases like malaria and sleeping sickness. and elephantiasis. So coming to the fungal diseases. So fungal diseases will cause you ringworm infection, aspergillosis, candidiasis, like that. So coming to the viruses. So viruses cause dreadful diseases like common cold, flu, dengue, chikungunya, polio, measles, chickenpox, etc. So you have another microorganism called algae, so which will not be causing any diseases. So it is friendly towards us. So let us know how the antibiotics are prepared. See, for the first time, a scientist by name Alexander Fleming accidentally found the antibiotic. So he was culturing the microorganisms in his laboratory. So while culturing the microorganisms, he wanted to clean those microbial culture plates. So while cleaning the culturing plates, he observed one type of fungal growth, so which has subsided the growth of the bacteria around that. So he was intended to study the bacterial infections. So he was studying the bacterial infections. So those are caused by some of the microorganisms like bacteria. So these disease-causing bacteria were suppressed by the growth of one type of fungus around that. So he was very interested and he took the extract of that fungus. When you took the extract of that fungus and applied to that bacterial infection, so that bacterial infection got subsided. And this was the first discovery made by him to get a remedy for microbial infections. So he called that fungal organism as Penicillium notatum, and the extract which was taken from it was called penicillin. So like that, so subsequently so many microbial medicines which are made from microorganisms were invented.
Medicinal use of microorganisms. Whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injections such as of penicillin. The source of these medicines is microorganisms. These medicines kill or stop the growth of disease-causing microorganisms. Such medicines are called antibiotics. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. Streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin are some of the commonly known antibiotics which are made from fungi and bacteria. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and are used to cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of livestock and poultry to check the microbial infection in animals. They are also used to control many plant diseases. You are seeing the great discoverer Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. In 1929, Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease-causing bacteria. Suddenly, he found the spores of a little green mold in one of his culture plates. He observed that the presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, he also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. Another scientist by name Edward Jenner was invented vaccine. He invented vaccine for the disease smallpox for the first time. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox in 1798. It is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. Also, you must finish the course prescribed by the doctor. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in wrong doses, it may make the drug less effective when you might need it in future. Also, antibiotics taken unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. Antibiotics, however, are not effective against cold and flu as these are caused by viruses. Why are children and infants given vaccination? When a disease-carrying microbe enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight the invader. The body also remembers how to fight the microbe if it enters again. So, if dead or weakened microbes are introduced in a healthy body, the body fights and kills them by producing suitable antibodies. The antibodies remain in the body and we are protected from the disease-causing microbes. This is how a vaccine works. Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. In your childhood, you must have been given injections to protect yourself against several diseases. Can you prepare a list of these diseases? You may take help from your parents. It is essential to protect all children against these diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. You might have seen the advertisement on TV and newspapers regarding protection of children against polio under Pulse Polio program. Polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to its eradication from most parts of the world. These days, vaccines are made on a large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. Bacteria helps in increasing the soil fertility. Some bacteria and blue-green algae are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. You are seeing another activity. Take 2 pots and fill each pot half with soil. Mark them A and B. Put plant waste in pot A and things like polythene bags, empty glass bottles and broken plastic toys in pot B. Put the pots aside. Observe them after 3 to 4 weeks. Do you find any difference in the contents of the 2 pots? If so, what is that? Let us look at it. You will find that plant waste in pot A has been decomposed. How could this happen? The plant waste has been converted into manure by the action of microbes. The nutrients released in the process could be used by the plants again. Did you notice that in pot B, the polythene bags, empty glasses, bottles, and broken toy pots did not undergo any such change? The microbes could not act on them and convert them into manure. Let us see what harmful microorganisms will do to us. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing and leather. Let us see which are the disease-causing microorganisms in humans. Pathogens enter our body through the air we breathe, water we drink, or the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carried through an animal. Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called communicable diseases. Examples of such diseases include cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. Disease-causing microorganisms in humans. So when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. The virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing.